And I'm starting the recording. All right. Robert, thank you for joining us today for this interview about the Clatsop Community College Board position that you are running for. Thank you for running. Thank you for joining us today. We'll just start by asking, can you introduce yourself, tell us a bit about yourself and what kind of experiences and expertise you're bringing to the table for the College Board?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. And thank you for doing this. My name is Robert Duehmig. I also go by Bob. I live here in Astoria and have been on the board since 2014. My background is a combination of both education and healthcare. I had worked for a period of time in international education at the US UK Fulbright Commission as an advisor. When I came back to the States, started working in education with the American Federation of Teachers here in Oregon. And that included a healthcare division. And so that's sort of the direction I took at that point. And I have worked both as a staff member for Congressman David Wu when he was in office as in government relations for Oregon Health Science University, and I've been at the Office of Rural Health, Oregon's Office of Rural Health since for about 15 years now, where I'm now the interim director. So what I bring is a strong knowledge of how the education system works. It's a strong knowledge of healthcare, the role of healthcare in our rural communities, and the importance of healthcare as an economic engine, and so obviously that's a strong point for me, but also an understanding of how important it is that we look at our community and be able to keep our kids here and offer them an education of which they can build their futures, and which our futures depend on as well, keeping our businesses going, our young families here. And I think our college does a fabulous job of doing that. And I look forward to spending more time on the board to keep that going.
Thank you. And our next question is why are you interested in running for this position again? What kind of things are you wanting to accomplish on the board?
Well, I have to say that I have enjoyed every bit of time I've spent on the board. At this point, I think we have had some great successes and huge challenges. Since I've been on the board, we have opened Patriot Hall. We have hired a new president. We've negotiated contracts with faculty and staff. We've expanded the size of the Mertz campus. We put together a plan to build a new facility on the Mertz campus and to meet what is really a growing need and demand of maritime workers. We have a large number of the folks in that profession that are getting ready to retire and at retirement age. And it's a great way for us to sort of be that economic engine behind that and supply some great family wage jobs for our community. So, all those things are absolutely fabulous, and I think are great successes. And I think this last year with the pandemic has shown a number of things for our college. First and foremost, our faculty, staff, and administration deserve a lot of credit for twisting on a dime to turn things into online and to make the campus safe and to work from home and do what they need to do to meet the needs of our students. And so very, very pleased that we've been able to do as well as we have in this last year. But the pandemic's put a lot of challenges ahead of us, right? We understand that we've lost some students due to this for a number of reasons, partly our partnerships with Tongue Point and the Coast Guard, which have also closed down when it comes to that piece. But we have a lot of students that we need to go back to get them back into the system, keep them going. We have to be prepared for a group of high school students that have had a very interesting year or two coming back in and making sure we're there to meet their needs in this unusual time as they try to figure out what it is they need and where they want to go. So I want to go back for another term on the board to help continue that movement forward post-pandemic, and making sure that we are in the position we need to be to serve our students in what's going to be really a new way. Teleeducation is not going away. It's not going to be all of the way we do education, but it's going to be part of it. And I think it's an opportunity for us to look again at how we educate. It's how we're going to meet the needs of our workforce or of our employers. That's changed after this. So I'm excited to go back and help meet those challenges. And I think we will. I think we will not only meet them, but we'll grow. And so I look forward to being and continuing to play a role in that.
All right, thank you. In the past 4 years, say, or maybe even over the entirety of your term, if that's appropriate for you, what do you think the college and board could have done better? And what would you change sort of going forward?
Well, it's interesting. Hindsight's always 2020, right? Um, I think the challenge for a board and for a college our size, in a community our size, is always to uh, be able to manage the uncertainties that come with state budgets and our funding sources. When I first joined the board, we were coming out of the Great Recession impacts and that huge financial impact it had on the college. So I think we, again, did some really good things to get out of that and move forward. We were also going through a selection of a new president during a lot of that. So there's a lot going on. I think what we could have done better in those earlier years is try to look at our big picture on finances and make sure we're able to respond to the financial challenges that come about. But I do think what we have done is learned a great deal from that. And I think we're in a much stronger position when we look at ourselves as an academic institution and what it is we are providing to students and how we make that work. Now we come out of a pandemic, which is very different than one of the economic downturns. So this is new to us, right? And so we're going to be learning as we go forward how to adapt to this new environment. And will we make some mistakes along the way? Probably. First time for any of us to actually be able to do this. But I think what we do have and have had at the college to this point is a board that really focuses on what it is it needs to do, which is to help set the policies that guide and direct the president so that he or she can manage the college in a way that is meets the needs of our students and our community. So I don't I don't know that I would go back and point to one or two things that, hey, this could have been done differently or this should have been done differently. I think that's always a challenge about being on a board is being able to make decisions in the time that you're making them and know that you are trying to reach certain points in the future. And so I think our challenge going forward is going to be making the decisions that we are investing the right way into the right programs, that we're investing in the right way in our delivery system of those programs, that we are meeting the needs of our community, both for training of what our employers need and the academic uh, desires of our students. And I think the other big challenge for us is to be able to know that we are reaching those students that have fallen by the wayside due to the pandemic. And that's happened for a number of reasons, right? Some stayed and were able to complete and continue to go to school. Some had to drop out because it wasn't a manner in which they could get their education online. Some don't have broadband, and that's a huge issue for our county. And I think that the county as a whole needs to come together and work for a solution on that, even at a greater level. Some of our students had to leave because they suddenly became full-time teachers at home with their children. So I think there's a lot of reasons that we have lost some of our students during this particular time. And one of our biggest challenges, and I think one of our biggest focuses going forward, needs to be how we get everybody back in and continue in their learning experience.
Okay, great, thank you. And we have a couple of minutes or maybe a minute left. Do you have closing thoughts or things we haven't covered already that you'd like to leave us with?
I guess I would say that one, I appreciate you all doing this because I think the community college is one of our most important assets in our community. We, for a community our size, are able to offer so much opportunity to our students And to our young people, and for those who are looking for additional training in the jobs that they have now, I just think it is a jewel, and one that we should continue to um, um, support to its greatest extent. And I'm always excited when there are more than one people running for the board seats. The more competitive, the better, because I think it shows people have a strong interest in the college and its impact on our society and our town.
Mhm. Well, Robert, thank you very much for joining us today. And again, we always appreciate people stepping up and running for office and doing community service like this. So thank you for that as well.
I appreciate it.
I wish you all the luck in the election, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Great.